What is up, guys? It's
Twin Soul Poets.
We are your go-to couple for love and relationship advice.
Dope spoken word poetry and uplifting content. You looking good.
You looking good. We are feeling the love today. We just came back from my brother's wedding. Congratulations to Joey and Julie. Today, we wanted to talk about a few things to think about before you get married. We like being married. It's pretty fun, right?
It's great.
It is great.
I like it a lot. Yes. One thing to consider before you get married is, have you cultivated a friendship together? One of my favorite things about our relationship is that we're best friends. He's my best friend. And going into marriage knowing that I was marrying my best friend felt really good. We took time outside of just being romantic and outside of the sex and outside of all the hormonally great things about a relationship, just to get to know each other, just to really find where we were compatible, to learn about each other, to learn where we shared interests, to learn where we differed. I really feel that taking that time to get to know each other in that deep way really helped bring us closer together.
Yeah, you are my best friend. It's kind of like every night is a sleepover with your best friend.
It's the best, man.
We're having another sleepover.
It's just an eternal sleepover.
Stay up late and watch movies and talk about stuff.
And eat good noms.
Awesome.
I think that's one of the best foundations you can have when you're thinking about taking the next step.
Another really good one, and this maybe not as traditional, but we always really advise people to try living together.
Yep.
First. Because it is a big difference between, like, you can be best friends with someone and you can be great partners, but then when you start to live together, you might find out really quick, whoa, like, I don't know if I can live with this person.
Yes. Ain't no sexual chemistry in the world gonna fix it if you're not compatible in a living space.
It's real, because you just, as far as, like she said, getting to know someone deeply, like, there's so many things that you don't learn about somebody until you live with them.
Yes.
Just the little idiosyncrasies, the little ways they go about their day each and every day, little habits
that
routines.
are important to your partner.
It's like I mean, I can't stress enough how important I think that is. And I think that's a real reason why some marriages can really struggle, like, out of nowhere. They have a great relationship and then they get married, and if they've never lived together, all of a sudden it's like all of these difficulties coming up out of nowhere, and you're like, I can't believe I didn't even know this person that I married. And it's like, yeah, because you didn't try that first. I
agree.
I think that's crucial.
That helped us feel really confident when we were taking that step, for sure.
Yeah, we had lived together for years in a little one-bedroom apartment. And so there was, like, no space, no taking space. There's no running away from anything. And I think that really served us, honestly, when we did get married, because it's like, we know that we can get through stuff together, and we know that we can hang out a lot. And
if we could live in that, like, 675 square foot apartment and not kill each other, it definitely made me know that we could get through some challenges whenever they came up.
It's a good thing to know before taking that step.
Another thing I really think is worth figuring out is, are you sexually compatible? If that's something that's important to you, if, your sexual connection is important to you. I know that some people have beliefs about not having sex before marriage, and that's fine if that's your belief, but I feel like it could be pretty challenging if the compatibility isn't there to get into the marriage and realize that you didn't have that. But at the very least, even if you're not having sex, just having, being consciously intimate, looking at things like maybe like Kareza, the practice of Kareza, which is like non-goal oriented sex, or just like Tantra, like doing really conscious intimacy could be a really good idea. And just making sure that you guys are on the same page about how that fits into your life and what that looks like for you, and what's important to you in that arena.
That's important to me. And if it doesn't align with your religious beliefs or whatever, no judgment there. And I think, everybody has to do what feels right in their heart.
But you can still explore intimacy too without sex, and I think that's important. Even if you're not, like, even just eye gazing, holding each other's hands, like really seeing, can we be in an intimate space with each other with open hearts while being vulnerable?
Or even if you if it is sort of against your beliefs to take that step physically before marriage, like at least having deep, in-depth conversations about sex and about intimacy and all those things, because I think to just avoid it and not even broach the subject until marriage, it can kind of like create a lot of pressure sometimes, I think, and kind of put the bedroom and put sex up on this pedestal that feels like unreachable, untouchable,
or intimidating,
intimidating,
scary, and people can lock up and have these reactions.
And then it creates all this like performance anxiety and everything, like the on the wedding night.
Even knowing like how sexual your partner is, like do your sexual energies match each other? Because some people don't have a big sex drive, and some people have a very strong sex, and just navigating, like if they're very different, figuring out, is there a way that we can make this work where we both feel satisfied, where we both feel good? And I think that it'll really enhance your connection to take the time to explore that before you get married.
One more thing to consider is to really sit down mindfully while you're dating and see if you can create a shared vision together. Just talking about future goals, where you see yourself in 10 years, where you would like to see yourself in 10 years if there was no limitations whatsoever and you could really like reach for the stars. I think that can be really powerful to sort of bring your visions for the future into alignment to where you have a shared goal, you have something that you can move towards together as a partner and as kind of a team, to where you're co-creating, and whether that means like your vision for creating a family is lining up, or where you want to live, what kind of house you want to have, what your lifestyle wants to be like, are you traveling a lot, of whatever it may be. It's like really getting clear on that can be so powerful. To have something, we talk about a twin flame vision when we're talking about this twin flame union, and that's something that's really powerful for twin flames to come together and have this like
shared vision,
mission that they're sharing,
right,
and something that they're creating together to offer to the world. Any couple, having something to work on and coordinate and partner on, it can just really become like rocket fuel for your relationship and how your relationship grows.
And it energizes your synergy together. And you can be creative about this. It may be in the work arena. It might be work you're doing together. It may be in service to the world. It may be in, you mentioned a lot of great aspects to think about, where you're living. For us, one of the things we have a joint vision on is our spiritual growth. So we think, things like meditation and our yoga practices and, being conscious. And we love to research about new ideas together, and people like Joe Dispenza, people who talk about cultivating changing your mind into higher levels of being. Like those are things we know we share that interest, and doing that together, it just feels like we're kind of, I don't know, like evolving together and kind of having these quantum leaps spiritually together. So for us, that's something that feels really good. So find the thing that feels good, that resonates between the two of you, and build on that together. It'll give you a trajectory, and it'll make you feel like you guys are in sync with each other. Consider making a commitment together. So decide on something that's really important to you, and before you even get engaged, sit down and make a commitment of something that's important to you. For us, it was a commitment to growth. So anytime we have a challenge or we're going through something hard, we know that we'll grow from it. And the fact that we sat down and looked each other in the eyes and like made that decision together has really been, I would say, like the cornerstone of our relationship and of our marriage. So if there's something that really speaks to you as a couple that comes from your heart, sit down and make that commitment together. Make that commitment to abide by that standard. And I think it'll really serve your marriage and your love journey.
True. So those are our little quick tips for getting married, what to think about before you get married. And, marriage is a blessing. It's a lifelong journey. There's tons of joy and celebration and just daily growth.
Yeah.
And there's challenges too, and to remember to take those challenges even as an opportunity to grow and as an opportunity to come together. And just the cool thing about it is you have a partner and a teammate in everything in life.
Everything you do.
And that's a really like grounding and just kind of comforting thing.
It is. It can feel really powerful to think about marriage as a deepening of your connection and your commitment and your love together. So it's just a symbol that we use to say that we are committing to each other in a very deep way. We're committing to each other in a way that's lifelong, and kind of putting a lot of reverence around that, and finding ways up until the marriage, if you are engaged, to celebrate that, to respect the transition into married life, because it is a big step. So it's one that you should take your time with and respect each other's need to figure it out and to embrace this new phase in life.
Yes, and enjoy it.
Yeah. Congratulations, Joey and Julie.
Yeah, congrats again, little brother. Love you guys, and
We'll see you
don't
in the
forget to
next one, right?
subscribe for more uplifting content.